What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another Monday Night Raw review. Now, I had a hectic week, so I finally found time to do this. And Monday Night Raw, I would say it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was an okay to at best good. I could say it did have some good qualities about it, but basically what I'm trying to get at was nothing really too eventful that happened on the show. Some storylines did get moved forward, but other than that, it was a pretty basic Raw episode. They started off with a match instead of a promo. We got Bobby Lashley versus Seth Rollins for the United States Championship, and it was a good match. Between the two, it went the distance too. It got a pretty good length to it. I think it even had a commercial break. If I want to, yeah, I think it went through 2 commercial breaks. It was good. They both performed good. This was the only thing about this match. It wasn't the fact that the match was bad. It was just more so that the match was used to like further a different storyline, so it made Bobby Lashley, even though he's the champion, feel like an afterthought. And what I mean by that was Seth Rollins, they like basically had the referee, like he tried to kick out of the get out of the hurt lock, and by reversing it into like a pin. But then when Bobby Lashley got kicked out of that but kept him in the hurt lock, they accidentally like landed on the referee. But the referee wasn't like hurt. He was just like, oh god damn, y'all hit me in my back of my head. And then while the referee was like tending to his head trying to get back up onto his feet, Seth Rollins kicked him in the groins. They was about to prepare for a stomp, but he would get interference from Matt Riddle, who would interfere and cause allow Bobby to spear Seth Rollins, and I think he just speared him for the win. Like I said, that's what I was talking about. It was like more so about Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle than you could tell that was like the end goal of this match. We got a promo from Damage Control, where they basically came out and talked about how they're in control, taking control of the division, and that they proved their dominance and whatnot. The thing here was I like how the commentary, from the announcers, they try to make you forget the little hiccup that was the fact that the Color Kai and them should have won the tag team tournament, but didn't. So they try to make it. I think the only thing they said about it was they did have a little bit of a few hiccups in the beginning, but they finally got to where they need to be. Their promo, this will bring out Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka, who basically came out to confront them, to which it was more so about Alexa and Bayley, and with Bayley and Alexa getting into it, Bayley criticizing Alexa for not being the same Alexa that tormented her all those years ago, and that she is not the goddess Alexa Bliss anymore, and that she doesn't have it anymore. And the commentary would play up that notion, and what will follow as the back and forth between Alexa Bliss will result with Alexa challenging Bayley to a match that would end up being the main event. And the commentary team will play up into that. A side note, we got a side note here. It was announced that Survivor Series, this year's Survivor Series will be called Survivor Series War Games, and that they bring in the War Games to the main roster, and War Games is actually going to have, at Survivor Series, there will be a men's and a women's War Games match. I don't know. I don't know. This is going to replace the traditional, men's elimination style match or women's elimination style match. I would guess so, but I guess we have to wait to see. Then we get the second match, which is Austin Theory versus Kevin Owens. This was by far, I would say I would say the best match of the night. It actually really played good into it. I really can't find another. I guess you could say there was. Yeah, I would say this was one of two. I actually take that back now, because now looking at my notes, I see that there was another match I did like too. But yeah, this was a very good match between Austin Theory and Kevin Owens. I enjoyed it. They really had nothing bad to say about it. Johnny Gargano got involved when Austin Theory had the upper hand, looked like he was getting ready to hit. Used the briefcase to get the victory, but Johnny Gargano would take the briefcase and distracted with allowing Kevin Owens to hit him with a pop-up powerbomb for the victory. They did a recap for Logan Paul and Roman Reigns. The Brawling Brutes came out to make a statement about the fact that Raw would be seeing more of the Brawling Brutes when they beat the Usos for the championship this Friday. This would lead them into a confrontation with the Street Profits, where the Street Profits would tell them that y'all good and that y'all did beat all those teams to become #1 contender, but you didn't beat us. This would go into the next match where they made a challenge to each other, and then the next match would end up being the Brawling Brutes versus the Street Profits. And this was the other match I would say would be like the other match of the night. And it was a good match. It was a good tag team match. I think this actually went the distance too. If I'm not mistaken, I think they got to. I think they went to through 2 commercial breaks. But yeah, it was a good match. Butch and Ridge Holland, which I really wish they would call Butch Pete Dunne, but Butch and Ridge Holland did their thing along with the Street Profits. They entertained me well enough to keep me invested into this match, and then the Street Profits will fall victims to the Brawling Brutes, which I think was the right call, because you don't want to have them losing going into a championship match. If you're gonna have them lose, it would be Friday night when they face the Usos, which I really believe is going to happen, because I don't see the Usos dropping the championship belts until Roman Reigns dropped his belts. We would get the next match, which is the Judgment Day's Finn Balor and Damian Priest versus Matt Riddle and Rey Mysterio. Now, this is another match, just like the match with Bobby Lashley. This match, even though it featured a storyline with Rey Mysterio and the Judgment Day, this is also the storyline with Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins. And this will be the second part. So this will be part 2 to the events that happened in the first match, where the match itself was good. It was decent storytelling. You got Rey Mysterio conflicted about his son betraying him and joining the Judgment Day. He had a backstage interview saying that he would have knew that Dominic had all this resentment, he would have done everything in his power not to let the Judgment Day twist his mind. But in the match itself, it was good. It was good. A good matchup between the two. But Judgment Day would get the victory because, like I said, this is part 2 to the Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle thing. Seth Rollins would get his payback by being the distraction this time by attacking Matt Riddle, and was getting ready to beat him up with a chair, but to have Rey Mysterio grab the chair and chase him off. But that distraction was enough to get Rey Mysterio caught and pinned. After that, we got the Seth Rollins. We got a brawl backstage between Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle, where this was what I meant by nothing significant happened, but a little bit of storytelling, like a little bit of story movement here. This is Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins will get to a brawl with with Seth Rollins telling Matt they're fine. You want a rematch? I'll give you a rematch. Name the time and the place, and he said, "I'll kick your." And Matt Riddle said, "Fight pit match at Extreme Rules." and Seth Rollins said you're on, and then it was made official that it will be Seth Rollins versus Matt Riddle at Extreme Rules in a fight pit match. We got a Miz TV promo where Miz is finally basically on his own talking about Dexter Lumis, and he's basically calling out Dexter Lumis on Miz TV, saying for him invading his house, and he wants Dexter Lumis to come out and face him man to man and give him the platform that he needs, but nothing would happen. And then Miz would go on to talk about how Dexter Lumis is a coward for not coming out, and that next time he sees Dexter Lumis, he's going to kick his ass. And then, but while this is all happening, what Seth Rollins don't know, and Tommaso Ciampa, they don't see a knife is being jabbed through the ring, cutting the hole so Dexter Lumis could pop out of it. And while he was doing that, while he was gloating, and everybody trying to yell and warn the Miz, except for Tommaso Ciampa. I think like Corey Graves and stuff was trying to yell and get the Miz attention. The Miz would turn around to gloat to the crowd, and all of a sudden that's when Dexter popped through the hole and tried to grab the Miz and drag him into the hole, but Tommaso Ciampa would help him. But then he would try to grab Tommaso Ciampa and got him in the hole, but they would hit Dexter Lumis over the head with the mic, and then they would stare at the hole to see if he was still there, because it was like just an empty hole, and then the Miz like crawled to it to look, and the Dexter Lumis just popped back up, and they just took out the ring. I think this is all leading to Dexter Lumis versus the Miz at Extreme Rules. Then we got the main event. The main event is Alexa Bliss versus Bayley, and this is where I was talking about how the commentary team was playing up the fact that that Alexa Bliss they don't think, or at least Corey Graves don't think that Alexa Bliss is the same Alexa Bliss of old. But for the most part in the match, she proved that she was still the Alexa Bliss of old, like the goddess Alexa Bliss, like that she reverted back to that character. But I think I think Alexa Bliss is like really like a hybrid between her Fiendish character and the goddess Alexa Bliss, because she still has Lily, but she don't act supernatural anymore. She just more so the goddess, but still got a little spooky dark Titantron with the uppity music. But for the most part, the match was good. It was a good matchup with Bianca Belair and Asuka at ringside to contend with Dakota Kai and Io Sky. The match was good, and Alexa Bliss basically had the match won, as it wasn't for interference from Io Sky and Dakota Kai, which allowed Bayley to hit the Rosebud on Alexa Bliss for the victory. Though, like I said, this was also played up as Alexa not being the same Alexa. And afterwards, Alexa, it was a little bit of a fight where they took out Asuka. They was getting ready to try to take out Alexa Bliss, but Bianca would come and beat everybody up, and was getting ready to try to hit oh man, it escapes my mind what Bianca Belair's finisher is. But she was trying to hit her finisher on Bayley, but the Dakota Kai and Io Sky would interfere, and then Bayley would hit the Rosebud on her, and then announced to her that as Extreme Rules, she wants the Women's Championship, the Raw Women's Championship. Overall, it was a decent show. It was a decent show. A little bit of storytelling, a little bit of story movement forward as they get geared up for Extreme Rules. We got an announcement of Survivor Series already, but overall, I enjoyed it. Like I said, I had, make it, you undo by the things you would try to do to build up, to make the Intercontinental, how you make the Intercontinental and the United States Championship relevant. You kind of undo that with having Bobby Lashley as just there, where you're focusing more on Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle. Same thing with the Judgment Day match. But otherwise, it wasn't, otherwise everything else was enjoyable. I mean, everything was enjoyable. It was just those two things I didn't like. Which means I'm going to give this episode I give it a 7 out of 10. Big ups. It was a decent, good Raw. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't bad. It wasn't like super awesome. But it was like your typical good Raw. It was your typical Raw, but good enough to be passable as a good show. But you let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this Monday Night Raw. And if you enjoyed this video, you hit this button right there in the upper right corner for all of my WWE reviews. And if you enjoyed this review so much you want to support the channel, all you gotta do is hit those buttons. That like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button. That like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button, hit that thanks button, and hit that join button. I think I messed up when I said share. And hit any one of these videos for more of my amazing content. But yeah, don't go nowhere. I got reactions and more coming your way, including some more gameplay eventually, or coming soon. Because I think in one of these days, soon, maybe Saturday, I will be doing the Corey. Yeah. So peace out.